Good morning and welcome to ABC in the Morning live here on ABC News GH. I am ABENA MANTE. Thank you so much for joining us this very beautiful Wednesday morning. Today is the 19th day of November 2025, and like I say, November is slowly inching towards a close, and so I hope that you're putting yourself together as you prepare for the festive season. These are the last days of 2025 where we need to make sure that all of the goals that we had and are still within our reach to acquire, we do. So all of the plans you put together, do not give up on them because the year is almost over and so you're throwing in the towel. No, we do not throw in the towel here. Continue to work towards your goals and you will achieve them. We have conversations for you today, something called gun amnesty. There's a new initiative called the gun amnesty that the Minister for the Interior has announced, and we will talk about that. We'll find out what gun amnesty is, for what period does this amnesty apply, so that we can better appreciate it. And so by the end of today's show, you would have appreciated what gun amnesty is and what the various or the duty bearers are doing concerning this gun amnesty. Today, we will begin with ABC Speaks, and so Samuel Nimado will bring you what ABC thinks on some topics. We'll also bring you our main discussion that we would have. You would appreciate all of the conversations that we'll be bringing you. We will open the phone line so that you can call and share your thoughts with us. 053-916-1609. You share your thoughts with us, especially on the conversation we'll be having on the main discussion. The OSP has charged Ken Ofori-Atta with some huge numbers of charges, and I enjoyed reading the comments on it on the various social media pages. I really did enjoy reading the comments on this. All of this in connection with the SML deal, strategic mobilization deal, and so we'll bring you conversations on all of that too, on that too. But it's really been interesting conversations concerning these charges that the OSP has leveled against Kenneth Ofori-Atta, the former finance minister. Very, very interesting. Also, we will bring you the latest in the world of sports, and so you want to be tuned in here so that we will bring you all that is happening within the world of sports. Remember yesterday the president met with the Christian Council. They paid a visit to him, or they called on the president. The president spoke about a number of things. He spoke about the LGBTQ bill. He also spoke about National Cathedral. He says that yes, he is in favor of building a church, but it cannot be done without consultation with the people. So yeah, we will look at all of that. There are so many conversations to be had here today on ABC in the morning, and I am extremely grateful to you that today, this morning, you have tuned in to ABC News GH. I do not take it for granted at all. If you're leaving home, you can still watch ABC in the morning. We're streaming live on Facebook. The page is ABC News GH. If you have not yet liked our Facebook page, I implore you to kindly like our pages and turn on post notification. Anytime we go live, you would be notified, and also we'll be posting snippets of all of the conversations we have on ABC in the morning and our other bulletins or our other shows, and you can also appreciate them there. Our YouTube channel is ABC News GH. Go on YouTube, subscribe to the channel and click on that bell so that you're notified anytime we are live or have posted any content there. Our other social media platforms, Instagram, X, and TikTok, ABC News GH _ at ABC News GH _ at ABC News GH _. Give us a follow and also send us some messages. We'll be glad to read all of your messages for you. This is ABC in the morning with me, ABENA MANTE. Thank you again for joining us on the show this morning. Right after this break, we will bring you our front story where we take a look at the gun amnesty.
jollof.
Oh, Kwame. You know our secret, right?
Yeah.
Efia.
Yes, me. I've got it.
Now add your Gino jollof mix.
The perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time. And there you have it, your original Ghana jollof.
Jollof so cool.
Jollof so cool. Tasty, yeah.
What is going on here?
Enjoy jollof the Ghana way. Gino jollof is made with the perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time.
This advert is FDA approved.
Rent back with the Pia Upa. Come on, come see you. Where Jessica? My friend, see before.
It's the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telecel Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to obtain and start winning in the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto chiaka. Inti ene, uno banu mpe baby amubeda. Oh, na beka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Welcome back. You're still watching ABC in the morning here on ABC News GH. There's something new that has been launched, and it is the gun amnesty launched by the Minister for the Interior, Muntaka Mubarak Mohammed. What is gun amnesty? According to the minister and according to the ministry, gun amnesty, this initiative is supposed to provide a very safe and voluntary opportunity for citizens to surrender guns that they illicitly own or unregistered guns to the state. This is supposed to clamp down on the proliferation of guns in the system. If you have really followed ABC in the morning, we've had conversations about arms in the system. At festivals, guns are shot and then someone is affected to the point of death. So many guns in the system, unregistered guns. And this initiative by the minister is supposed to clamp down on the movement of unregistered guns within the system. Well, let's listen to the minister, hear what this initiative is supposed to cover. When we come back, we will have some conversations on this gun amnesty and how you, if you possess any unregistered arm, you can surrender it.
Minor disagreement into bloodshed and pit communities against each other. They rob us of fathers, mothers, sons, and daughters. lives that should be shaping the future of our country, Ghana. Let us not deceive ourselves. Every illicit firearm in circulation is a silent threat. It may lie hidden in a cupboard, under a bed, or buried in the bush, but at any moment, it can destroy life and families forever. We cannot continue to bury our loved ones while the tool of violence remain unchecked. The statistics is not looking good at all. In 2024 alone, there were 1,219 reported robbery cases, and 552 murder cases. As of July this year, the statistics from the CID and the Ghana Police shows that half of the year alone, we've already had over 600, and the exact number is 628 cases of armed robbery and 340 cases of murder. All of it people use violent means to achieve this, and the use of illicit arms. That is why, after a broad consultation with the Ghana Police Service, the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons, and our security agencies, traditional leaders, religious organizations, and civil society, the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has resolved to declare a gun amnesty, a bold and compassionate initiative to reduce illicit firearms in our country. The gun amnesty program is a window of grace. It offers every law-abiding Ghanaian who holds an unregistered or illicit firearm the opportunity to surrender it without fear of interrogation or arrest or even prosecution. From the 1st of December 2025 to the 15th of January 2026, any person who voluntarily hands over such weapons at designated collection point will be commended, not condemned. You will be recognized as a patriot, contributing to the peace and safety of our nation. But let me be clear, when this amnesty period ends, the law will take its full course. The Ghana Police Service and all security agencies will intensify operations.
So the Minister for the Interior, Muntaka Mubarak Mohammed, this is what he says about gun amnesty, and very important, the issues he's raised about guns. We cannot continue to lose our loved ones while the tool continues to persist within our system. Well, let's have some conversations. Carl Nyanyete Sowa is the head of communications at the Small Arms Commission. The minister says that they took this decision in consultation with the Small Arms Commission. Good morning, Carl, and thank you for joining us. Hello, Carl. Good morning. Hello, Carl. Good morning, sir.
Hearing you.
Are you able to hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Okay, Carl is unable to hear me. We will do well to establish contacts better so that he can better appreciate my voice and I can also appreciate him. Carl, is this better? Hello? Okay, we will establish contact with Carl Ni Anyete Suwa.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. I can hear you. Can you hear me better now? Hello, Carl.
I can see you speaking, but I can't hear you.
Okay, he can. Well, we will deal with the matter, with this situation, this very slight situation, and then we can speak with Carl. But then, he's the head of communications at the Small Arms Commission. We have knocked on their doors so many times, and they have opened it to us, where we've had conversations about the proliferation of small arms. For a while, it was really bothering. You hear that there's a little conflict here, and then guns are going off. There's a festival. People are supposed to shoot musketeers, and we're hearing that live ammunition are supposed to shoot muskets, but then we hear that live ammunitions have gone off and into someone's belly. The person is dead here and here. Armed robbers are going all about shooting people and all. Let's have conversation. Hello, Carl. Good morning and thank you for your time. Hello, Carl. We have lost Carl Ni Anyete Soa. We would do well to establish contact with him so that we can speak the more with him. But like the minister says that this is a period that anybody who owns an unregistered gun should surrender it. Willingly surrender the gun. If you don't within the period that has been stated or has been given, when the relevant authorities begin to breathe down your neck or clamp down on the arms within the country, it's not going to be something that is fun. And indeed, we do not expect it to be fun. But this is an opportunity for you to surrender your unregistered arms. But in any case, if you have bought an arm, you should register it. You should register it. If it's not registered, please turn it in within this period, this time frame that we've been given. But conflicts and guns, they go hand in hand. How many times have we not reported here? Conflicts, binary conflicts here and there. Immigration officers have been shot dead. People look into the eyes of their kinsmen and shoot them because they own guns. People have gone into the forest to hunt. The next thing, they're not hunting only animals, they're hunting their fellow their fellow human beings. Issues about guns everywhere. There's a festival, the exuberance of the festival, and people are shooting live rounds. The exuberance of the festival alone. These are worrying situations. These are worrying situations, and we do not want to get to the point where we say that we have a gun problem in Ghana. That we have a gun problem in Ghana. They're clamping down on unregistered guns so that, you see, they can trace. They know the number of guns that are circulating within the system, who this gun belongs to. They can trace who this gun belongs to. But people are buying guns on the black market and keeping them in their homes. At some point, some people said that some of the conflicts that are going on those who are shooting and all are being fought. Because how much money do you have to buy a gun? I don't have the money to buy a gun, and I don't think I would if I did have the money. And then someone who's actively fighting is always receiving guns. Who is fueling them? Who is smuggling guns into our country? Which border is porous, so much so that guns are getting into our country? These are issues that we are looking at, and issues that the minister wants to deal with. The issues that the minister wants to deal with. So to make our country very safe, very, very safe. A few months ago, broad daylight, armed robbery, and the armed robbers were shooting guns in the air. They were just shooting live rounds, and it was broad daylight, morning, mid-morning, and so it was bright. They were just shooting, making it very, very normal. But it is not normal. No, it is not normal. It is not normal. But you know, this ban, this gun amnesty is complemented by a ban on the use of arms during traditional festivals and the restriction on the importation and sale of arms. But like I said, who is smuggling guns into the system? Armed robbers are apprehended. They have guns. They have live rounds of ammunition. Every single time the Ghana Police Service has reported that some armed robbers have been apprehended. Guns, very sophisticated weapons, a lineup of sophisticated weapons, including live ammunition, live rounds of ammunition. Go to a festival, gun-wielding men shooting guns into the air as part of excitement, and then it ricochets, hits someone in the belly. That's it. One life gone because of carelessness. And so whilst people are deliberately harming others with guns, carelessness is also causing harm to others. to the point of loss of lives. And this is what the minister wants to clamp down on. But the primary objective of this initiative, this gun amnesty initiative, is to significantly reduce the number of illicit arms in circulation. That is one. Enhance public safety, national security, and social cohesion. And the ministry believes that this initiative will help create a safer and more secure environment for all Ghanaians. Indeed, we all want to live in a very safe Ghana. We all want to live in a very safe Ghana. We look forward to speaking with Ni Anyete Soa, Head of Communications at the Small Arms Commission, so that we can better appreciate what this gun amnesty initiative is all about, so that we can appreciate what this gun amnesty initiative is all about. We really apologize for that issue with sound that we had earlier when Mr. Sowa joined us, but we are really trying our best to establish contact with him once more so that we can speak with him the more concerning this gun amnesty initiative. But if you're watching us on ABC in the morning today and you own a gun that is unregistered, you own a gun that was illicitly bought, please take advantage of this initiative. Kindly take advantage of this initiative so that you too can contribute in making Ghana safe. You too can contribute in making Ghana safe. It's very, very important that you are part of the story about making Ghana safe. This is the Gun Amnesty Initiative. The Gun Amnesty Initiative by the ministry. Hello, Carl, good morning, and thank you for your time once again.
Yes, good morning.
Okay.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Right, we apologize for that issue with sound, but we are grateful that you have joined us once again. This initiative, Gun Amnesty, how sure are we that people who own guns illicitly, who got the guns by any means or forms and have also not registered their guns, are ready or will be surrendering the gun to the committee set up for this initiative?
Okay, so thank you very much. So to start with, the law that governs the possession and use of firearms in the country, that is the Arms and Ammunition Decree 1972 NRCD 9, states that the very first article states that all firearms must be registered. So if you have a firearm which is not registered, then on the first count, you are flouting the law. Now, if you have an unregistered firearm, an illicit firearm, it means that the law should deal with you. It's a first-degree felony, and you could be jailed for a minimum of 10 years. But what this gun amnesty is providing is a grace period, where you can surrender these firearms without the fear of interrogations. No questions are going to be asked as to where you got the weapon from, how long you've been having the firearm, or whatever. No questions at all. There will be no arrest. There will be no prosecution.
Okay.
Only surrender. And that is what we are telling the Ghanaians. And the catch is this. After the period, the minister stated it right, there's going to be a joint operation by all the allied security agencies to make sure that we retrieve these illicit firearms. And I can tell you that if you listen to the statement that was read, it says that after the amnesty, people who do not take advantage of the grace period will be considered as criminals. They will be considered as people who have criminal intent to use the firearms to foment trouble or to indulge in criminal activities. And it stated clearly that the full rigors of the law will be brought to bear, uncompromising. So if you don't take advantage of this grace period, then it means that the law will come after you. He even mentioned, he made mention of canine dogs and all that. that shows you how serious it is. That shows you the kind of thinking and planning that has gone into this gun amnesty. So we want to urge all Ghanaians and encourage Ghanaians to take advantage, because keeping the firearm, you may think that you are not going to use it now, you need it for protection. It is not licensed. But I can tell you that the day you will use this firearm, the police will definitely come. Questions will be asked. You may be congratulated for using the firearm to defend yourself, to protect your property. But the next line of question would be, is this firearm registered? If it is not, then you will be in trouble. That is why it is important for all Ghanaians to take advantage of this opportunity.
Okay. Well, we know that over the past few months at least, there have been so many firearms within the system. We have spoken with you concerning the shooting that we see during festivals. It's moved away from just muskets to now shooting live rounds. And so within our traditional system, we are seeing the proliferation of arms. Are you having any engagements with our traditional authorities to ensure that this initiative is a success?
All right, so thank you very much. You recall that in one of our discussions, I made mention of the fact that we've actually started engaging the traditional authorities to streamline their activities, to get them educated on the regulations that govern the use of firearms in traditional festivities, as well as bringing standard operating procedures to govern the use of firearms in traditional celebrations. We cited that we've used the Babulomos Palace as a pilot phase, so that once we are done with that and we've crossed all T's and dotted all I's, it is going to be escalated or extended to the other traditional authorities. And that is still ongoing. Now, before the amnesty was declared, there were discussions, the Honorable Minister for the Interior had discussions with the regional ministers, which he rightly stated during the press conference yesterday. And there were also broad engagements. They were to lead broad engagements with the traditional authorities in their respective regions. So as I tell you, there's been engagements, but the engagements are still ongoing, because the buy-in of the traditional authorities is very important. I always say that just as the president is the first gentleman of the land, when it comes to our traditional settings, our traditional leaders are our first gentlemen. And so getting their buy-in is very, very important. And yes, there was broad consultation, and it is still ongoing. Now, the temporary ban on the use of firearms in traditional celebrations is to help us firm these SOPs and regulations that the ministry and the commission is bringing on board. Now, the people who have been designated or assigned by the traditional authorities to fire these musketries are going to be trained. They are going to be identified. They will have identifications. And then there will be operating procedures governing the use and how to even fire. We will also have to mark the firearms of these traditional authorities. When the firearms are marked, they do two things. One, they serve as a deterrent to theft. Because they have markings, people don't want to steal them. Because when you steal them, it comes to the second benefit. They can easily be traced and retrieved. Now, we also need to do assessments of the armories where they keep these firearms. Are they fit for purpose? Are they secure? Do they meet best international practices to ensure that thieves and other miscreants can't have access to these firearms to use? There are firearms that must be used or that has been mandated by law for these traditional authorities to use. And those are muskets or musketries, or what we call cap guns. Cap guns do not use charged gunpowder or live ammunition. They only give out sound and powder, and they add pomp and pageantry to the celebrations. But now, like you rightly stated, people are using live ammunition, live rounds, like they are using pump actions and other sophisticated firearms. And so as part of the process, we are going to have engagements to make sure that we assess the firearms that they have so that we can separate those that the law mandates the traditional authorities to use from those that are not. And then those will be surrendered. That is why we have that temporary ban to ensure that these regulations are streamlined.
Well,
thank you.
Why not just go ahead and clamp down on these persons who own guns illicitly rather than give them a grace period? You just said that you're going to come with a full complement of the security agencies at the back of the Small Arms Commission to do this raiding after the grace period has elapsed. Why not go straight into finding all of these people and bringing them to book? In any case, these arms within the system are causing great harm. They are doing a lot of disservice to us as a people, even to the point of death. And so why are you treating this issue with kid gloves by giving an amnesty period when the intelligence you have will help you to straight ahead go after them?
All right. So thank you very much. You know, when it comes to security operations, it is always very important to give people the opportunity to do the right thing. That is why even when someone is arrested, before you arrest the person, you let the person know their offense. Do you get it? Now, what I'm saying is that we want to give everyone a fair ground. Many people may be having illicit firearms, and genuinely they were only thinking of protecting themselves. They do not even know the dangers of owning these illicit firearms. Neither do they know that they are even flouting the law. Some do not know. So we educate. During this period, we are educating. We are making noise everywhere, educating people that if you have a firearm which is not registered, it is an illicit firearm. Now we give you the opportunity to do the right thing because we trust and believe that Ghanaians are law-abiding. Now, when that grace period is over, no human rights activist can come up and say that people were not informed, people were not given the opportunity to surrender their firearms, and we are using brute force to get them to surrender the firearms. You've been given the free period in line with humanitarian grounds or consents. After that, the full rigors of the law or the full force of the law will come to bear. And it will be uncompromising, just like the minister said. It will be strict. Prosecutions and arrests will be strict. Yes.
Kenny.
So people must take advantage of this grace period. It is very important for us to do so.
Well, remind us of what this period is. From when to when are we looking at being able to surrender any firearms that could be in our possessions illicitly?
All right. So the minister, the honorable minister, announced a 6-week grace period, starting from the 1st of December to the 15th of January. So during this period, you can go to any district police or division to surrender your firearm. Yes. Make sure you don't give the firearm to any uniformed officer just walking by the road. No, not even me when I approach you to surrender your firearm. Go to the designated centers and surrender this firearm. And make sure that you take your receipt, because we want transparency in the process. The firearm, after it is retrieved, would be destroyed publicly for all to see, because we want to give Ghanaians that assurance. We want Ghanaians to trust in the system, to know that the system is working and the security apparatus are professionals. So it will be destroyed in public, so that the fear of these firearms getting back into the system or finding their way back into into wrong hands will be assuaged. Now, when you insist on getting your receipt, it helps us to track. It becomes one of the measures, because the amnesty official who has been trained and who acts professional knows that there's a watchman watching him. And so whatever firearm he has received, he is going to document it. So I'll plead with anyone surrounding their firearms to make sure that they take their receipt. That is your token of showing that you are a law-abiding citizen. And that also helps us to keep the amnesty officials in check. That also helps us as a commission, so that when we are monitoring and evaluating what has been done, we are able to take stock and know that, okay, 10 firearms were surrendered, and we've been able to receive all these firearms for distraction. Mr. Kofi Menu brought an AK-47. The records rightly states AK-47. Note that when Kofi Menu brings an AK-47, we get to see a pump action being stated. We want to make sure that there's transparency, and that is why we insist on people going to the designated centers to surrender their firearms without fear of interrogation. We are not going to ask you where you got the firearm from, how long you've been using it, and all that. No, you are not going to be arrested, and certainly there will be no prosecution. It is only a moment of surrender. Yes, thank you.
What also happens to our borders? What happens to our borders? Because the firearms will not come out of thin air, but then they get into the hands of people.
Thank you very much. Now, the minister also stated the complementary measures that are put in place to ensure that we safeguard the borders. Because yes, we don't want an influx of firearms coming into the system or out of the country during the period. So personnel at the borders, or personnel manning the borders, will be beefed up. There's going to be scanning equipment given to the officials there. And you heard the minister speaking about it, scanning equipment, sophisticated scanning equipment. Plans are underway to secure them so that they will be used by the officials or the security officials at the borders to man the borders. And these are some of the measures put in place to ensure that our borders are secured during the period, during and after the period.
All right, Nee, thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. Opportunity, but we will plead with you to make sure that you spread the message, you get people to know, that it is important for them to take advantage of the gun amnesty period, to surrender their firearms, because after this period, the mercy and grace will be over. It will be full force of the joint operations.
All right, Nee, thank you so much. Kauni Anyetesoa is the head of communications at the Small Arms Commission. He says take advantage of this period from the 1st of December till the 16th of January, where you can surrender your arms, your unregistered arms, without any issues. That's all for Front Story this morning. Right after this very short break, we bring you ABC Speaks. Stay with us.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Rent back with the Pia Upa. Come on, come see you. Where this guy? My friend, see before.
It's the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telecel Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to opt in and start winning in the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto etiaka. Inti ene, Uno ba no mo pe baby amobeda. Oh na abeka. Ye did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Hey there and welcome to Streets We Day. On this episode, we are at Circle going to ask people a few questions about the new products of Gino. Stay tuned and follow me. Pacho, your first say? Okay. Into your first question, one say, we should Gino adverts now. Omo nyumbi ende no omo kan bibi wo ho. Omo kan dey.
No, my Chris. Hi. Amenya no.
Three sentences, 3 words. Wait me catch me. Gino bibi. Wait me catch me.
Oh, love you no.
But I want to mean Gino.
Me too bad. Anyway, na nure fi kakla.
Wow. I love Gino. I can't miss this one. Is Gino pepper and onion?
Yes, that's correct. So here's your gifts for it.
Wow, thank you.
Hey, Gino.
Gino.
Tomatoes paste. Ella, the onion, na pepper wom, bibia wom. What the budget love na ko here. Hey, Gino, me ko budget love.
Gino.
Perfume rice. No, I perfume rice. No. Different ones, so
Aye. But we tomato paste near there, Gino.
As for that, the
Oh.
perfume rice. No papa ni.
Magic pepper and onion. A delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yenini na da da da. So pa mediane no abe.
Come on, Gino. Do your magic.
And papa no kunu abefi.
Tasty magic.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
If you're right, rent back with the beer open. Come on, let me see what. Wait, Jessica. My friend, still before.
It's the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telecel Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to obtain and start winning in the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto etiaka. Inti ene, uno ba no mo pe baby amobeda. Oh na abeka. Ye did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
On the show, we shall start by interrogating your athletes of matters with expert insight from our renowned medical professionals, providing you with actionable advice and cutting-edge knowledge to prevent injuries and optimize performance. Then we'll connect you to the talking points where we'll bring you the big names, the famous faces, and leading voices on our radar in the world of sports for a lively conversation and diverse perspective.
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the talking points. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
On Ghana Focus, we shall spotlight our domestic leagues and heroes of other sporting disciplines.
I'm James Makion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC with Victor and the team as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
The glam we see, the characters we love, they've got stories, stories untapped, events untold, the sequence and details of the experiences unheard.
To my dad, I'm the stubborn one. To my mom, he's the stubborn one.
To the first management that I got, I think I was made to exercise a whole year.
Hey, I'm 20. All I know is how to have sex.
I was out of contract for 4 years.
The pain, the agony, the frustration, they make my depression worse.
Yes.
The hospital doesn't have a mortuary. We would have to take the baby in a box and then get rid of the body ourselves.
Sometimes I say something and they take it out of context and they bash my husband, they bash my family.
But hey, they survive and they're here to chronicle their journey with me, Miss G,
on ABC News GA.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the first edition of ABC Speaks here on ABC News Ghana. On ABC Speaks, we digest the major issues in the country, present our opinion objectively by giving you the facts and figures as it matters. And today, we are looking at a very tragic incident that occurred during the military recruitment at Elwa. It is 1 week exactly since that incident at the Elwa Sports Stadium, the stampede that happened there. And since the tragic stampede at the stadium, an incident that had claimed 6 lives and injured dozens of the applicants, have been a routine during the routine Ghana Armed Forces recruitment screening, has left the country to mourn. A week on, families are still grieving. The public is still asking questions, and official investigation remains inconclusive. No individual or institution have been held accountable, and yet, in an attempt to respond to public pressure and offer some comfort to affected households, the government has announced that families of the 6 young women who lost their life will be given the opportunity to nominate qualified relatives for automatic recruitment into the military. Today, we will look at the issue, moving beyond the numbers. We examine this tragic incident to look at the systemic gaps in Ghana's public safety, institutional planning, and crisis response. And more importantly, we consider the government's gesture, however well intended, is it an adequate answer to this tragic incident? 6 lives were lost. Up to today, we are still waiting for answers. The facts of the mourning are familiar. Thousands of applicants trooped to the stadium to seek for recruitment into the Ghana Armed Forces, i.e., the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army of the Ghana Armed Forces. An incident that the Ghana Armed Forces, by its routine work, calls applicants to assemble at the stadium to be screened medically to see if they meet the requirement and criteria to be enlisted to the Ghana Armed Forces. What happened during that morning was an eyesore. Thousands of the applicants who went to the stadium, as you can see on your screen there, were scrambling to enter into the stadium because of the large crowds. Many feared that if they didn't get the opportunity to enter into the stadium, their chances of being enlisted to the Ghana Armed Forces would become slim. Hence, they took matters into their own hands and tried to jump over the walls of the stadium to enter into the perimeter where the screening was happening. As a result, a stampede occurred. 6 young ladies lost their life, unfortunately, in this incident. Since then, like I mentioned, we've not had answers from the government. What we know is that the government has instituted investigations into this unfortunate incident. GAF, the Ghana Armed Forces, released a statement immediately after that happened that they are commencing investigation into the incident. 1 week on, we still do not understand or know what the investigations have uncovered. We've tried to ask the questions. In fact, we've tried to poke our noses to see if we could get answers from the investigative team, and the answers has been underwhelming. They are unwilling to share what is happening. And what we do know is that the Ghana Armed Forces says that they've sidelined or asked those who were directly involved in the planning and coordinating of the screening on that day to take a back seat whilst investigations commences, which means that all the military personnel, the leadership of the Ghana Armed Forces who were in charge of managing the affairs on that day have been asked to sit back whilst investigation commences. But we do not know who those persons are. The Armed Forces has not been transparent in presenting the name of people who were supposed to have done the obvious. And what was the obvious here? Decentralize the screening procedure as they have done now after the incident. So it needed the lives of 6 persons to be lost before we saw that we could do the obvious. The obvious that we could have done to have prevented this unfortunate incident was to decentralize the screening service or the screening procedure. However, due to improper planning, poor planning on the part of the Ghana Armed Forces, they called over 20,000 applicants to assemble at the stadium, and even at the stadium, they didn't make plans for seating arrangements, for where the applicants were supposed to stand and all of that. There were no plans. All that they asked them to do was to stand outside the gate of the stadium. And if you know the Elwa Sports Stadium, the outside space cannot contain close to 20,000 persons. And this is why we are here. And after a week of this incident, the Ghana Forces said that, oh, the people who were supposed to have done this very obvious thing, who were supposed to have used common sense to ensure that this procedure went on smoothly, had been asked to sit behind whilst they commence investigations into that. And the public is not even accredited with who those persons are. No single person from the government has taken responsibility either. Neither that we don't have a substantive defense minister. The deputy defense minister has not taken responsibility. Yes, he stepped in, going to console with the families, moving from one family to the other to engage and console with them. But we haven't seen somebody say, I am stepping down because I failed to do my job. Or somebody said that I was at fault for this unfortunate incident. One thing this country, our leaders are known of doing, very common, is that we fail to take responsibility when we should. So the question we are asking is, whose duty or responsibility was it to ensure that the body screening exercise at the various locations, not just at Awak, because similar incident occurred in Kumasi, in the Ashanti region, even at a larger location, which is the Kumasi Sports Stadium, the Babayara Sports Stadium. Same stampede happened there. About 5 people collapsed and they were rushed to the hospital, and they were sent to the ICU, meaning that their condition was in critical condition. So it means that the authorities, the leaders of the Ghana Armed Forces and the Ministry of Defense, who were to ensure the smooth operation of this recruitment process, failed the Ghanaian youth. And since then, like I mentioned, nobody is answering to questions of accountability. The whole process is not being transparent, because we don't know until now which officials of the Ghana Armed Forces have been sidelined for investigation to commence or for investigation to proceed. These are questions that families are waiting to hear. These are questions that the nation, which is grieving, mourning the loss of these 6 gallant women, wants to hear. But nobody seems to be ready to provide the answers. As at this morning, we do not know what really transpired there. Now, whilst we understand that investigations of this nature can prolong, we also believe that with the measure of the tragic incident, we should be getting answers by now. It shouldn't take us more than a week for answers to be made public, for Ghanaians to know what happened. It shouldn't take us more than a week for heads to roll, for people to take responsibility and say that I failed at my duty, so let me take a seat back, or let me resign. It shouldn't take more than a week for the government to act decisively on this incident. Before this tragic occurrence, we had similar situation. The unfortunate passing of the 2 ministers and the 3 crew members and 3 other public officials in that helicopter crash. Something that was very preventable. We didn't prevent it, and we lost lives, gallant lives, 8 lives then. We are talking about another 6 being lost here because those who were in charge failed to do the obvious. They failed to allow common sense to work. They failed to allow the system to be smooth. And that is why we are here. As a country, we can't continue to tread on this path. It is high time that the duty bearers rise to the occasion. These are petty issues that shouldn't be bringing the tragedy that it is accompanied with. Imagine that a youth, a young individual in your teens or even in your early 20s, struggling in these harsh economic conditions, hears of an opportunity to be enlisted onto the Ghana Armed Forces. You buy your forms, very enthusiastic about your opportunities of entering into the Ghana Armed Forces, but your life is cut short because the person who called you to come and seek for employment couldn't put together measures to protect you. That's the country that we are building for our youth. These are the conditions we are giving to the young people of this country, and we expect them to be patriotic. We expect the young people of this country to be patriotic about the country. It hasn't happened just like that. When the youth are suffocated daily, you don't expect them to be patriotic about the country. When we have rising unemployment in the country and no glimpse of hope, and when a glimpse of hope appears, you have to struggle 10 times more than you would to get that opportunity. Nobody will take the country serious. Even if the person gets the opportunity to serve the country, he won't serve with his optimum because of what he went through to even get the opportunity. This incident is a black spot on the country and should never have happened. Should never have happened. And whilst it has happened, the Ghanaian people deserve answers. The Ghanaian people deserve to know what transpired. The Ghanaian people deserve accountability from the leaders. The silence is huge from especially the Ghana Armed Forces. If nothing is being heard from the government side because we do not have a substantive minister, the Ghana Armed Forces should be taking optimum responsibility of this incident. We should be seeing leadership of the Ghana Armed Forces stepping down or taking responsibility. Even if you don't want to step down, come and say that it is under my tenure that this happened and I failed the country. I'm sorry. But the deep silence is huge. The families of these young 6 women deserves better. Ghanaians deserve better. The youth of the country deserve better. And this should never have happened. Imagine also that opportunities that were slot into the Ghana Armed Forces that we are giving to the youth, or we are supposed to have recruited by account from Parliament that we understand are just a little over 4,000. So the Ghana Armed Forces, the government cannot recruit more than that. A little over 4,000 persons will be recruited at the end of the day. But we've gone ahead to sell forms to applicants of over 80,000. What are we seeking to achieve here? Are we turning the recruitment process into a money-making machine? Are we duping unsuspecting youth? Are we taking advantage of unemployed youth here? These are questions that we demand answers from the government. And we believe that going forward, we must see change. We must see the restructuring of this recruitment process. Yes, the Ghana Armed Forces has begun with that after rescheduling the Greater Accra region's recruitment process. Now they've decentralized it to about 4 or 5 locations, which will begin from Saturday. But we believe this should have happened earlier. But going forward, we should see this replicate itself across the country. Decentralize the process. Call persons based on badges to be enlisted into the Ghana Armed Forces. You know the number you need. Do not sell forms outrageously above the number you need. You sell over 80,000 forms to just 4,000 plus slots into the Ghana Armed Forces. And these are unemployed youth seeking for opportunities. And you take their money knowing too well that they will not be enlisted. That is a country stealing from its youth. That is a country taking advantage of unsuspecting youth. And that is not a country that anybody would be willing to serve with all their heart. When we do this, we put the youth in a position to rather be unpatriotic to the country. That is why people get into these positions or into these security services and they do not serve the way they should, because the system suppressed them. The system took advantage of them. And when they get the opportunity, they will play lackadaisically. We believe that going forward, the Ghana Armed Forces should be up and doing. Let us not let this be a footnote in the history of Ghana. Let this be a turning point to how we recruit persons into our security services, and not just the Ghana Armed Forces. Let the lives of these 6 individuals matter. Let us not come back to this situation again where we'll be crying and mourning because somebody failed to do their work. And that is what we present to you today on ABC Speaks. We believe that going forward, the government has to do better for the youth of this country. And especially on the question of accountability, we have to take responsibility when things go sideways. We can't continue to do this in this country. I've been your host for ABC Space, Samuel Nyimabo. ABC in the Morning continues with Abena right after this break. We'll be bringing you the main discussions and other discussions here on the show.
Kwame, you know our secret, right?
Yeah.
Efia.
Yes, me. I've got it.
Now add your Gino jollof mix.
The perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time. And there you have it, your original Ghana jollof.
Jollof so cool. Jollof so cool. Tasty yeah.
What is going on here?
Enjoy jollof the Ghana way. Gino jollof is made with the perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time.
This advert is FDA approved.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey there and welcome to Streets We Day. On this episode, we are at Circle going to ask people a few questions about the new products of Gino. Stay tuned and follow me. Pacho, your first say? Okay. Into your first question, one say, we share Gino adverts now. Omo nyumbi ende no omo kan bibi wo ho. Omo kan dey.
No, my Chris. Hi. Amenya no. Mabon.
3 sentences, 3 words. Wait me catch me. Gino bibi. Wait me catch me.
Oh, love you no.
Pacho want me can Gino.
Me too bad. Anyway, na me love you kakla.
Wow, I love Gino. I can't miss this one. Is Gino pepper and onion?
Yes, that's correct. So here's your gifts for it.
Wow, thank you.
Hey, Gino.
Gino.
Tomatoes paste. Ella, the onion, na pepper wom, bibia wom. What the budget love ne ko ye. Hey, Gino, me ko budget love.
Gino.
Perfume rice. No, I perfume rice. No. Different ones, Swaba.
Aye. But we tomato paste na there, Gino.
As for that, the
perfume
rice. No papa ni.
Welcome back. This is still ABC in the morning with me, ABENA MANTE, live on ABC News GH. The latest in the whole conversation about the OSP and Ken Ofori-Atta is that the issue is going to court. OSP has charged Ken Ofori-Atta, and the charges are just so many. When the OSP posted about this matter on social media yesterday, again, the conversations, social media is always very interesting when it comes to matters such as these. I for one, am very glad for what technology does for us, because it gives us the opportunity to have some real-time conversations about things as they occur. Now, this matter, the Republic versus Kenneth Ofori-Atta and 7 others. The OSP says that court to fix a date for plea and trial by tomorrow, and by tomorrow OSP means today, whilst the OSP works with the Attorney General on extradition of Kenneth Ofori-Atta and his chief chef de cabinet, Ernest Darko Akore. OSP says that Ken Ofori-Atta and Ernest Darko are at large. You remember that the OSP released a red alert on Ken Ofori-Atta. You would remember that it did that. But well, this is what the OSP says we need to know about this matter, the Republic versus Kenneth Ofori-Atta and 7 others. The OSP goes on to tell us about when Ken Ofori-Atta was Minister for Finance. He tells us about Ernest Darko Akore, who was the chief de cabinet of Ken Ofori-Atta in his capacity as the Minister for Finance. He goes on to tell us about all of the other persons who are substantial to this matter, all who are very necessary to this matter. So these are the 7 persons: Ernest Darko Akore, Emmanuel Kofi Inti, Amishadai Owusu Amoa, Kwejo Damoa, and SML, which is a company, Strategic Mobilization Enhancement Limited. OSP says that these persons, Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others, conspired to set up and did perform acts in furtherance of the conspiracy to set up a criminal enterprise of directly and indirectly influencing the procurement process to obtain unfair advantage for SML in the award of procurement contracts for transaction audit services, external price verification services, measurement audit of downstream petroleum products, upstream petroleum audit services, and minerals audit services purportedly by the government of Ghana, acting through the Ministry of Finance and Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA. And the OSP says that this criminal enterprise was commenced or started in 2017 by Ken Ofori-Atta, Emmanuel Kofi Inti, Evans Edusei, and SML, with the other accused joining the adventure at various times. The OSP says that the criminal enterprise was characterized by no genuine need for contracting SML for the obligations it's purported to perform. And it goes on and on and on and on. And so this is what the OSP has come up with. This is what the OSP has come up with. That because of the actions of Ken Ofori-Atta and the others, it has led to immense financial loss to the Republic of Ghana. But how much is this financial loss? The OSP says it is about 1,436,249,828 cedis, 53 pesos. This is what the OSP tells us about Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others. And for this, OSP has gone a step further to charge them. He's waiting for the court to set a date. Well, let's have some conversations. Joining us is Dennis Kwakwa. Dennis is former Ashanti Regional Communications Director for the NPP. Good morning, Dennis, and thank you for your time. Hello, Dennis, can you hear me? Hello, Dennis. Well, we'll do well to establish contact with Dennis Kwakwa so that we can appreciate his thoughts on the matter. But the OSP has charged Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others with 78 counts of corruption and corruption-related offenses. This is where it gets interesting because, again, the real-time conversations around the matter says that OSP is wasting the time of Ghanaians. That's what some people think, that the OSP is wasting the time of Ghanaians. Whereas another section believes the OSP is only doing his job if, per his investigations, he's realized that Ken Ofori-Atta and the 7 others must be charged with 78 counts. What stops him? But for those who say that he's wasting the time of Ghanaians, they say that OSP just wants to go on a wild goose chase. And as usual, he's listening to his voice and he's very interested in listening to his voice. You've heard the comments people make about the OSP. Some really do not care for the work that the OSP does and have even called for the scrapping of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. But this is what the OSP has done: 78 counts of corruption and corruption-related offenses against Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others. Ken Ofori-Atta is still not in the jurisdiction. He's still not in Ghana. Earlier, we understood that due to medical emergency and medical situations, he had to be out of the country. Well, this is what OSP has done. And he said that they are working to extradite him. Hello, Dennis. Good morning. Can you hear me, sir? Hello, Dennis. Hello, Dennis. Well, we're still having some challenges establishing contact with the Dennis Kwakwa, former communications director for the NPP in the Ashanti region. We're also looking forward to speaking with the legal representative, Frank Davis, for Ken Ofori-Atta. When the whole issue about his health came up, we spoke with him concerning the OSP stance of wanting to bring Ken Ofori-Atta into the jurisdiction so that he could face the law. At this point, the OSP says that he is looking at extraditing, working with the Office of the Attorney General so that they can get Ken Ofori-Atta into the jurisdiction. Hello, Dennis, can you hear me? Hello, Dennis. Oh, we're still finding, having some issues establishing contact with Dennis. We really apologize for these few technical challenges. We will resolve them so we can have conversation. But yes, we're waiting for the court to fix a date for plea and trial. OSP says it will be done today, and so we are waiting. OSP is also working with the Attorney General to extradite Ken Ofori-Atta and Ernest Dakon Akori. This whole matter is about the SMLD, Strategic Mobilization Limited. And OSP says that the amount is quite huge. The amount the OSP mentions, over 1 billion Ghana cedis, over 1 billion Ghana cedis, that he says that are monies that Ken Ofori-Atta and the 7 others have misappropriated, and by that they have caused financial loss to the state. But you know, for those who have not really been a fan of the OSP's work, their argument is that the OSP keeps bringing matters into the public domain, and by so doing is setting up the accused persons to be vilified, setting up the accused persons to for the court of public opinion to pronounce them guilty even before a court of competent jurisdiction has sat on the case and made whatever decision on the matter. Well, I still have Dennis on the line. Hello, Dennis. Hello, Dennis. Good morning. Hello, Dennis Kwakwa. Good morning. Can you hear me, sir? Dennis, if you can hear me, kindly unmute so that I can also hear you. Well, we will make sure that we bring you that conversation. But like I was saying, those who really are not for the OSP say that the OSP is fond of bringing issues, cases that should go to court, first presenting it to the public. And because of that, it's already skews the public's mind or the public against the accused persons. And so even if it went to court and courts said that the accused were not guilty, the public already has it in their mind that the accused are guilty, and so anything could have happened and for which they were not guilty. And so they are really not fan of the OSP's modus when it comes to dealing with the matters. I just say that, well, as Ghanaians, we always talk about transparency. We want to be in the know of matters that are happening. And so why is it that this matter comes, OSP is following it, and now you are telling him that he's bringing out into public domain? What really is it that the OSP could never do right in your eyes? For this reason, you've heard a couple of times when some people have called for the scrapping of the OSP's office. Following this matter, his office again has come under scrutiny, where some people say that, you know what, scrap the office of the OSP. We really do not need it at this time. We ought to scrap it. I believe that is going to be a waste of time. 78 counts of corruption and corruption-related offenses is just so many. Hello, Dennis. Can you hear me, sir? Hello, Dennis. Well, we'll look at this matter. But you know what? I'm on the OSP's Facebook page. The OSP's Facebook page, where he made the announcement about the charges, talks about what is the reason for which Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 persons have been charged. And the comments are interesting, very varying comments under the OSP's page, and whilst some are bashing him, others are hailing him. That's the beauty of public opinion, right? You get to speak on a matter based on where you stand or how you see it, or the lenses through which you are looking at the matter. On Twitter or X, it's no different. The responses are varying. But OSP says that regardless, whatever or however long it takes, or come what may, he will pursue this case about Kenneth Ofori-Atta and 7 others. He will continue to pursue this case, and he's going to work at extraditing Ken Ofori-Atta into the jurisdiction from wherever he is. You know, some people think that Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta, former finance minister, is just running away from the law. He does not want to face the full rigors of the law. That is why he says that he's undergoing medical treatment. Again, very varying opinions on the matter. Very varying opinions on the matter. But these really are some numbers. But you will also remember this whole SML issue, this whole SML Strategic Mobilization Enhancement Limited issue. On October 31, not too long ago, President John Dramani Mahama ordered the immediate termination of all contracts with SML after the OSP had finished completed his investigation on the matter. Why did President Mahama decide to terminate every contract? He said that, or according to government, this will form part of government's commitment to accountability and transparency in the management of public resources. In the management of public resources.
Press star to copy associate password for 30 days.
And at this moment, there's no contract between government and SML. But that does not stop the OSP from going after this matter or this case. It does not stop the OSP from going after this matter or this case. But you see, OSP's desire is that he would bring Ken Ofori-Atta into the country to face the law. He would extradite Ken Ofori-Atta into Ghana to face the law. He says that Ken Ofori-Atta should be fiscally present. Whilst investigations are conducted and all. And so he has put in all the measures possible. Last time the OSP met with the press, he was very firm on this matter. He was uncompromising about it. He says that you would come into the country because this scheme where you and some persons colluded with a private entity to cause financial loss to the country, Ken Ofori-Atta, you would answer for them. And so for the OSP, this is a matter that would be handled because he believes that former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and all of those engaged in this scheme have defrauded Ghana of over 1.4 billion Ghana cedis. And how did they do it? Through illegally awarded contract payments for services that were not performed. And so OSP believes that the former finance minister paid people monies for services that they did not render. And so we gave our monies as Ghanaians out to people to enjoy. OSP says that this occurred between 2017 and 2024. What did it entail? Procurement issues, illegal procurement issues, false pretenses, payments for no service, abuse of office, potential future loss. It goes on and on and on and on and on. There's just so much that the OSP is charging Ken Ofori-Atta. But some also believe that the OSP could have reduced the number of charges, taking it a step at a time. 78 charges is just too many. 78 charges are just too many, and they believe that these charges are going to prolong the case. It will then become a very long and winding road of nothing. By the time we get to the end of the matter, we really would not have achieved anything as a country, because 78 counts are just too many. And so the OSP could have looked at the matter better and then presented it. But 78 is going to just drag the whole issue more than expected, or more than it should have been. And by dragging it, no justice will be served. Ghana will not be better for it. If our monies, we are supposed to reclaim our monies, we are not going to get the money, because it's just going to be a very long process. Well, at least this is the beginning of the matter. We look forward to seeing how the OSP goes on with this matter. We'll be keenly following it. We had looked forward to bringing you conversations on this. Unfortunately, we are really experiencing some technical challenges this morning, which is not allowing us to bring you the conversations as we would have. And so we really apologize for these challenges that we have faced this morning here on ABC in the Morning. We want to try again, establish contact with our guests, and then bring you the conversations on that. But 78 charges for you as a Ghanaian. When yesterday you heard about this, what was your first reaction? What was your initial reaction when you heard that the OSP, Kissie Jabin had formally charged Kenneth Ofori-Atta and 7 others with 78 counts of corruption and corruption-related offences? What really was your reaction to it? How did you feel? How did you feel? Well, do you think that with how the OSP is going about the matter, he's going to get justice for the country and then get us our monies, like he's saying, over 1.4 billion Ghana cedis? But you see, the issue about extradition, right, will not be with the case of Ken Ofori-Atta, it will not be the first time Ghanaians are hearing of a matter like this. You know, when the conversation came up that Ken Ofori-Atta be extradited into the country, another section started calling for the extradition of Sedina Tamaklo, whose matter was very, very out there a few months or even a few years ago. They said that if you're unable to bring Sedina Tamaklo into the country, then you have no right talking about Ken Ofori-Atta. Sedina Tamaklo was a former or is a former chief executive officer of Maslock, and she was sentenced to 10 years in prison. But she's not in the country. She is not in the country. Concerns have been raised. Why are you going after Ken Ofori-Atta? It's because his government is out of power, and so you want to go after him. And so if you want to show that indeed government wants to go after corrupt officials, then go after Sedina Tamaklo, who belongs to the NDC. These are some of the things that have been going up. But Attorney General says that it is not true that government is not doing anything concerning Sedina Tamaklo. He says that they are working very hard, assiduously, to ensure that she is extradited into the country so that she will also come and serve her term. And so he says that the Office of the Attorney General is awaiting the execution of our request to have Sedina Tamaklo extradited to serve her prison sentence. That is 10 years in prison. And the International Cooperation Unit of the Attorney General's Department followed up on this request with the Department of Justice of the United States of America in September 2025. And so these are some of the conversations. I believe I have Dennis Kwakwa back on the line. Let me quickly have some conversations with Dennis. Hello, Dennis. Good morning, and thank you for your time.
Well, good morning. I hope you are doing well.
We really apologize for the technical challenges we were facing earlier. We thank you that you have come back on the line.
Thank you very much. No problem for that.
Dennis, the OSP, beg your pardon, has formally charged Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others with 78 counts of corruption and corruption-related offences. How do you receive this?
Sister, good morning. So, how many different charges has the OSP issued against Ofori-Atta? I think I've even lost count of it. So, if you say officially, then I'm confused. But I think earlier on he officially charged him, right? But probably that was for the cathedral issues, if I'm right. Hello, Abra.
Well, Dennis, the OSP has not charged him yet. He's taken the matter to court. According to the OSP's Facebook post that he made yesterday, OSP is taking the matter to court, and today he's even expecting that court will set a date for trial and plea and trial for the 7 others or for the 6 others, whilst it works with the Attorney General works actively with the Attorney General to get Ken Ofori-Atta extradited back into the country so that he can face the law.
I think I get to. So, a good morning to your viewers. I think in law, the OSP is now acting as he ought to have acted long ago. The law does not prescribe that everybody who is charged must be present before the issue is taken to court. And so this brouhaha, the drama that characterized the actions of the OSP since the beginning, I have said that many times, that the OSP could have gone ahead, presented his case to court, and as the court permits, somebody can be tried in a...
If the case of Sedina Tamaklo is anything to go by, she was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Up until now, Dennis, she's not back into the country to serve her sentence.
And so that is the reason why nobody sees the need for the Attorney General to chase any other person who they perceive to be corrupt. Because Sedina Tamaklo was appointed by President John Mahama when he was in power between 2013 and 2017. The president has been one of the most trusted people or persons in this country that said the name Tamaklo on every day, any day, listening to. And so if the people in power today, the government of the NDC and its party people, if they are actually concerned about the purse of this country and are actually doing what they think is going to help the country in terms of fighting corruption, the first person they should have pursued when they got power was Sedinam Tamaklo, who was their own, for her to have come and served her charges. But that's...
But the AG says that his office is working with the United States of America to ensure that...
The Nolly Prosecutor AG, I was coming to tell you that you can't be surprised that he wouldn't pursue that matter, because in this country, even people who were in this country convicted to the tune of about 7 billion cedis charges, convicted by the courts, this AG has filed Nolly Prosecutor to let every one of them go scot-free. Every one of them, including the governor of the Bank of Ghana, including the finance minister, and so many people under the NDC government today are working under the executive arm of this country when they have been convicted of corruption. The AG says that those matters are not relevant to our fight against corruption. They are not relevant for us to beef up institutional organizations that are going to help us fight corruption. He has used his office under the instructions of the president. Don't forget, the AG is just a lawyer to the president, advisor, the legal advisor to the president. And he only asks what his officer in charge, that is the president, tells him to do. That's what the AG does. And so under the instructions of the president, the AG has gone to court many times to go and tell the people of this country that the people who were convicted of corruption, very huge amounts of money, they can go scot-free because they bear membership to the NDC party. Because they
but Dennis, that doesn't mean that if it's happened and someone has not yet been extradited into the country, we should not go ahead and follow up on cases that are of national interest.
You are now going to start filing a case in court. We don't know how many years it's going to take for the court to be able to deal with these issues, let alone to look for the monies. Meanwhile, we have people who have in charge already.
But then we are not going to let the wheels of justice...
The wheels of justice
halt or stall because...
Per the law, per the law, has the wheels of justice been defined to tilt in the direction of only people in opposition? The wheel of justice must work for every one of us in this country. And even today, we can only talk about the wheel of injustice because this Attorney General and most of the court issues that are coming out does not in any way tells us that justice is being served in this country. If you have an Attorney General taking somebody to court, taking somebody to Yoko, they look at an individual in this country and say that before you can have your freedom to go to your house and present yourself, appear before the courts, you must go and bring 800 million worth of property before you can have your freedom. Is that justice? Is this justice? And so, what I was trying to say is that they don't present any form of, I don't even know how to put it, hope. They don't present us with any kind of encouragement that we ourselves as citizens of this country can even go ahead and help them prosecute people that they want to prosecute. Because at the end of the day, members of your party were convicted. You, the Attorney General, who, when in opposition, said that some banks that were collapsed under the NPP government did nothing wrong. You said they did nothing wrong. And therefore, it was unnecessary for the NPP government to have gone on with the banking sector reforms. You come back to power and then come and tell the people of this country that, yes, some of the people who were, I think some of the banks whose licenses were taken away actually faulted. And therefore, if government is going to let the people go as you want to put it, you come and pay some of the money and then you leave the rest to go rot. Now you have done that for so many people in your government, in your party. to the tune of about 7 billion people who were convicted. Now we are coming to tell the people of this country that we are going to pursue others who probably have, as you want to put it, involved themselves per their offices, causing financial loss to the country, and you are going to tell us figures, maybe some going to be charged with less than 50 million cedis, some going to be charged with less than 50 million or less. But people who have committed crime that has been proven by the law courts, convicted to the tune of over 7 billion, you say they can go scot-free. And so I think what he's attempted to do, to go to the court, that is law. That is what we expected him to do as a learned professional in this country. Some of us within the NDC, when they won power, the only, I think, appointment I celebrated was the one of the Attorney General. I thought he was one nice man who probably was going to work diligently. I thought he knew the law and he was going to work with it. Unfortunately, he has been the first person to disappoint me, apart from President Mahama. So, in my own ranking, President Mahama disappoints me the most. The Attorney General is the next person in government today who disappoints me after President Mahama. And I believe that if he's saying he's going to court, that is the right thing to do. It is the court that has the power. Look through the issues, listen to the prosecutors, look at the evidences, and come out to tell the people of this country one day that yes, what they are saying, what they are charging people of are actually wrongdoings. Once that is settled, all of us are going to support the Attorney General in our fight to take back our monies. But what I'm saying in Tree, you say you need back one. I don't know how I'm going to translate this for you, but let's assume I don't know if you know the antelope. Once I do know the antelope. When you come, you go and hunt the antelope, and you come and then you try to put it on fire in order to preserve it. Once somebody comes to you and says that, oh, I've seen the left thigh of the antelope. How much is it? As soon as you say the left thigh costs 500, it means the right one must also cost 500. Because all things being equal, we know that the thighs are not, they don't differ in sizes. So once you know the weight of this, it equates to the weight of the other. And so how could you as an Attorney General be going to court to tell the people of this country that
but Dennis, in this case, it's not the Attorney General, it is the OSP, the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
I'm talking about that. The OSP, they have sacked him already. Martin Pebu has already initiated the process. They are going to sack him. And I'm going to concentrate on the Attorney General because I know that it's the Attorney General who is going to continue with this.
Well, but in any case, at this point, it is the OSP. It is the Office of the Special Prosecutor that has made this public. And so let us focus on the OSP as an office.
That it is not an office. It is Kisega, they've sacked him already. The OSP has not functioned as an office.
Well, then in any case, 78 counts, very huge numbers of corruption and corruption-related offences. Talks about.
Don't be surprised. The NDC can even file about 200 charges. At the end of the day, none of them will stand the law. They always want to exaggerate it.
But well, the OSP.
He said that man is not a man of himself. He's not a man of himself. You yourself, don't try to make it appear to
from your submission, Dennis. It goes to. Are you saying that you are sure that Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others? Maybe let me just focus on Ken Ofori-Atta since he's the popular name in here. Will come out unscathed.
Now, I don't know if you can trust the course of this country. That is one matter. You see, when NDC came to government and they targeted the Chief Justice, persistently, some of us told you that the danger was that it is going to lead to so much that Ghanaians will have to pay for one day. Now you have a whole government institution taking somebody to court. If it is the wish of the government that the court must imprison you, you go to prison. Because President Mahama bore his feet to the Chief Justice and she has been sacked, removed from office. So if you are a justice in any of our courts in Ghana today, If governments come to court and tell you that this person is guilty, you have to convict the person by saying the person is guilty, because you don't want what happened in 1982 to happen to you. If they've been able to remove the Chief Justice, who else can be convicted in this country? And so from today, don't always count on what comes out of the court as the truth. Matters relating to government and any person or agency going into the courts, you don't have to have the hope that you are going to be served with justice. We are in crisis. We are back to the days of revolution. Unfortunately, Ghanaians are behaving as if they don't care simply because NPP became unpopular in their eyes, and they think that the NDC government is fighting the MPP. The NDC government is not fighting the MPP, it is fighting ordinary Ghanaians as well. And so very soon, we shall begin to see what comes out of the court. And we are all going to regret the actions of supporting whoever supported the removal of the Chief Justice. Is going to regret, ever wished, and hope that somebody of that caliber could be removed from office. So I believe the OSP has now got to a point that he has to do something to save his position. Unfortunately for him, he's already a goner. All these things that he's trying to do, Martin Pebu has already started the process to remove him. He'll go. That one, there's nothing that can save him. It's better Kisei Jabari. He's not the first person to occupy that office. Martin Amidu, the great man, resigned. He can also go ahead and resign before they embarrass him. But I don't think that anybody going to court nowadays under some of these accusations are going to get justice served. The courts are in fear. So many of the justices, so many judges and magistrates now fear for what has happened to the Chief Justice. Most of them are not going to do what they ought to do. Now listen to somebody that President Mahama has gone on to swear in as a Chief Justice. Somebody who got the opportunity to preside over the case of Atai goes to vetting and tell the people of this country that the term that he gave to Atai was actually not what he ought to have done, but because of the fear of his life, he considered his personal interest against that of the law. So, protecting himself and his family, he gave Atai so many years to be in prison. That means that it was highly injustice that he served him. Then, instead of the NDC in Parliament to have come out to say that, yes, we gave you the opportunity to present yourself, prove that you qualify to occupy the position, but by what you have said at the vetting, you don't qualify. They went ahead to approve him. And even more interesting about his appointment is you get a president who goes to swearing in and says that by the laws of this country, the man is supposed to swear by a Bible. But somebody has taken the Bible, so let's use the Bible on the phone. You are not holding the phone, and so you don't even know what application they opened. It could have been my bet, any of the betting apps that they opened. It could have been even a pornographic site that they opened. But the president went ahead and said that he was swearing in the Chief Justice of this country based on an app that is purported to be on phone. So the whole issue of this Chief Justice is one that none of us is ever going to be.
So then
Hello,
you are just saying
me,
that regardless of the gravity of the matter, you are just not trusting justice delivery system in the country.
But you yourself, refer to yourself, you trust the system today. Now, you have all the galamsey going on today, galamsey going on. President comes to power, grants amnesty to a number of people who were convicted because of galamsey. And now he's perceiving Wuntumi because Wuntumi belongs to the MPP. Wuntumi once spoke against him. And at the same time that he's trying to cripple Wuntumi, he's making sure that every mineral rights in this country that can fall into the hands of a private individual goes to his brother.
That is,
what kind of justice are you looking at?
This,
and you want to be convinced?
This argument.
You want to be convinced about it? Are you convinced about this?
You keep trumpeting this argument about the president's brother, Dennis.
Yes, it is an empirical evidence that we have. We have to cite forever. We cannot let it go. I'm saying that for somebody like me, I believe in property owning. That is the ideology that I follow. And so when they say Ibrahim Mahama is this, got the contract, I have never been worried. I have never been worried because he's a Ghanaian. If today any other mining company comes from Ghana, from anywhere in the world and comes to begin to work in Ghana, the ordinary Ghanaian on the street who suffers from some of the illnesses that Ibrahim Mahama has extended his hand of support to some of these vulnerable individuals, all those companies will not be doing similar things as Ibrahim has been doing. Foreign companies will not be doing as any other person in the MPP is also doing. And so I don't believe in crippling private companies. But the fact is that in you say in Kunja, once you believe that your brother could enter into private business and become rich, President Mahama must accept that the NDC did not create Ghana. It is not for them. Ghana is not for the NDC, and so equally there are other people belonging to other traditions who would equally want to do certain kind of businesses. And so why target somebody from opposition simply because you want your brother to have everything and you don't want us to talk about it? You talk about it.
Let me circle back to the OSP and Ken Ofori-Atta. This matter and how far it has come. Do you not think that Ken Ofori-Atta should just make himself available so that he cooperates better? Because at this moment, the OSP is the one bringing out every information. Ken Ofori-Atta is not in the picture, and so it looks like he's witch hunting. When maybe the OSP could be just speaking to the matter at hand. And so if Ken Ofori-Atta cooperated better, wouldn't the case be better for it?
What is cooperation? The law does not call for cooperation. The law gives the OSP the power to go to court. Whether Ken Ofori-Atta cooperates or not, the court to have the opportunity to do their work. And so that cannot be an excuse. Ken Ofori-Atta, even as we speak, I was told he's due for surgery even this week or maybe next week. He's not somebody who is running in the tracks that we all see him every day being fit and telling us he's not fit. People think maybe he's trying to make excuses. But from what I'm told, he's still going through surgery. Ken Ofori-Atta has been diagnosed of sicknesses, including cancer. Sedinam Tamaklo has never been diagnosed of cancer. She said she was going for normal checkups. She didn't come back again. What is wrong for the NDC also to go and bring her? Why do you want us to leave Sedinam and talk about Ken Ofori-Atta? Ken has done nothing. In law, they can go to court without him. And I think the OSP has the power. He has started that process. That is what he needed to have done earlier on without creating that drama. Now, he has spent about 11 months dramatizing. Now that the NDC are making attempts to remove him from office, it is now that he's behaving as a lawyer and knowing what is right to do in law. And so we support him to file the cases before he's sacked. But I believe that the court can go on the trial whether Ken Ofori-Atta is here or not. That cannot be an excuse. People should not demand for his hand. Sedinam Tamaklo has been convicted.
So for you, the OSP is just doing all that he is doing to please the government in power. You do not see that
he's doing this in
the interest of Ghana.
He wants to see whether he can get some 1 year more to be in office. He's a goner. That's all he's trying to do. He's wasted 10 months. They think that he's playing games with them. And they just want to use him.
Martin Pebu that he has taken that up the OSP to be removed. In any case, the same Martin Pebu you speak about says that the OSP is rather doing the bidding of opposition. And so now this is just one person, not one office. One hand is saying that he's pandering to the gaze of government. Another hand says that he's working for the opposition. It's like from different angles, we are not allowing him to be free to do the work that he wants to do.
The people in government want to kill him, so they will have to accuse him of working for the opposition. But for those of us in opposition, we know that he's doing nothing to support us. That is a fact. And nobody expected.
But in any case, would you have wanted an office such as his, the OSP, to work in anybody's favor? Would you have expected him to be working in the NPP's favor?
Unfortunately, he started doing something like that. We didn't expect him, and so that's why we gave him the power to serve in that position, because we knew that the people in power those days were the NPP, and so if anybody committed any crime, it was likely to be MPP members. So we didn't expect him to favor the MPP. That's
hello, Dennis. Hello, Dennis.
In the favor of the NDC. He right.
Well, that is, but this is how far we have come. Had we as a people,
do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Had we as a people, there's a school of thought that believes that really we are undermining the office of the special prosecutor, for which his work has seen this kind of development. He comes out to give us information in the public. We say that he is skewing the public's perception against the accused. And so because of such comments that we make, it looks like as a people, we really are not intent on the fight against corruption, because if we really wanted to win the fight against corruption, we would not be unhappy about his methods. Hello, Dennis. We have lost Dennis Kwafa, but we have had such.
Somebody.
Okay, Dennis, are you back?
Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Do you hear me, please? Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I was saying that.
So I'm saying that what has been is.
Okay, please go on.
What is modus operandi? You are somebody who has been given a very high office as the one you hold. We expect you to go to court when you ought to. You come to the public, organize press conferences, and sing Ankwanoma. You give up, you throw your hands in despair. And so if you want us to take you serious, you have to work seriously according to the law. And you have been appointed by law. You are expected to work with the law. And you come to the public and look for public sympathy. Throw your hand in despair, telling us that you've given up to your fight. What you think people are frustrating you. At the end of the day, everything that you say, that is where we are going to judge you from. So it is not the people who are making his work difficult or trying to lose confidence in his office. He himself is the one who has caused that. And I believe that it is better for him in the last few days that he has in office, because eventually they are going to sack him. The next few days he has in office, to redeem his image. People trusted him as a lawyer. People trusted him as a law lecturer. He has taught so many people. And so people thought he was coming to do an exceptional job. Unfortunately for him, if he should lose his job today, most people don't regard him as much as they did before he took that office. And so it is not we, opposition or even the public, who are not helping him. It is he himself. And I believe if he can no longer do the work that we trusted him with, he should just resign and go peacefully, save his image. Because whether he likes it or not, the people are going to sack him.
Okay, Dennis, thank you for your time this morning. We're grateful that you spoke with us.
Thank you very much, my sister.
And do enjoy the rest of your day. Dennis Kwakwa is the former communications director for the NPP in the Ashanti region. That's all for our conversations this morning here on ABC in the Morning. We'll take a break and return with more on the show. Stay with us.
country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. I easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Magic pepper and onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yenini na da da da. So pa mediane no abe.
Come on, Gino, do your magic.
And papa no kunu abe fi.
Jan tasty magic.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Rent back with the beer open. Come on, come and see what. Hey, wait, this guy. My friend, see before.
It's the Telesur Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telesur Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telesur Play app to opt in and start winning in the Telesur Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is happening? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto etiaka. Inti ene, uno ba no mpe baby amobeda. Oh, no abeka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Well, it's time to hear your voice, and your voice is the only one that matters. Share your thoughts with us on our conversations. The OSP has charged Ken Oforiatta and 7 others 78 charges on counts of corruption and corruption-related incidents. And so this is what the OSP is charging Ken Oforiatta and 7 others. Call us and share your thoughts with us. 053-916-1609. 053-916-1609. When you call, kindly turn down the volume of your TV so that we can appreciate what you have to say on the conversation. With how far the OSP has come, how do you see it? How do you see it? Do you applaud the OSP? Or you belong to the school of thought that says that really the OSP has done nothing? Share your thoughts with us. Share your thoughts with us and let's hear from you. 053-916-1609. 053-916-1609. It's your voice that matters, and your voice alone would love to hear. OSP charges Ken Oforiatta and 7 others. And share your thoughts with us. 053-916-1609. 053-916-1609. Please share your thoughts with us. The phone lines are open. Let's hear what you have to say on this matter of the OSP and Ken Oforiatta and 7 others. Please share your thoughts with us. Would love to hear from you. What do you have to say on the matter? OSP in the right direction? Are you glad about how far he is going, or you belong to the school of thought that says that it's really Mashadu about nothing. You don't see what the OSP is doing. He's pandering to the gaze of the party and power of government. Is that what you think? Is that how you see the work the OSP is doing? Share your thoughts with us. 053-916-1609, 053-916-1609. Let's hear what you have to say. The numbers are on your screens. Please turn down the volume of your TV when you call so that we can hear you and appreciate it. But like I was telling you earlier, this whole matter is a matter about Strategic Mobilization Limited, SML. I think it would just be right if I told you that following investigations, President Mahama in October of this year has ended any contract government may have with SML. President Mahama has ended any contract that government may have had with SML. But OSP says that Ken Ofori-Atta and the others planned to make sure that we as a country lose money through this deal that Ken Ofori-Atta went into with SML. And because of that, Ghana has lost over 1.4 billion Ghana cedis, over 1.4 billion Ghana cedis, due to the work, the collusion of Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others. It is for this reason that the OSP is seeking for Ken Ofori-Atta to be extradited into the country to face the law. You remember that a few months ago, he placed an Interpol red notice on Ken Ofori-Atta. This is why he says he's expecting that Ken Ofori-Atta be extradited into the country. But these are the persons involved in this matter. Ken Ofori-Atta, Ernest Darko-Akore, Emmanuel Kofi Nti, Amishadai Owusu-Amoah, Kwadwo Damoah, SML, which is the Strategic Mobilization Enhancement Limited. And OSP says that all of these accused persons conspired to set up and also did perform acts in furtherance of the conspiracy to set up a criminal enterprise of directly and indirectly influencing the procurement process to obtain unfair advantage for SML in the award of procurement contracts for transaction audit services, external price verification. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Pacho, good morning.
Good morning. Pacho, I send off free.
Your friend Abdul.
Abdul, what's your fee here?
Pacho, Mikasafli, a shaman.
Okay, Abdul, yeah, that's a self prayer. You too.
The OSP ni Ken Ofori-Atta na why me and the Abu Su, Debia OSPCC, Debia Ken Ofori-Atta CC, Yampedium, Omunja Sani Mano, Onukra Wakwa Bocho so on Bano Yedo.
Enti map OSP ndi asem nachi.
Omuntwe Ofori-Atta nembra Ghana no medim embrano emfani ndi kwan so.
Okay, Abdul Medase. Abdul says that Ken Ofori-Atta should be extradited into the country so that he will face the law. But he believes that the tug of war happening between the OSP and Ken Ofori-Atta is just too much, is overwhelming for Ghanaians. Well, let's see how this matter goes. But I was telling you about this issue, the case of Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others. OSP says that they conspired to perform acts in furtherance of the conspiracy to set up a criminal enterprise of directly and indirectly influencing the procurement process to obtain unfair advantage of SML. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
What's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
Pacho, your friend Ernest.
Your first name?
Ernest.
Ernest, what's free here?
Ablekuma.
Okay, Ernest, that's a self-prayer. Let's hear you.
Okay. Damasipa say akwenya mudia amai. Echema chief also.
Yeah, that's it.
Yesemo Ofori-Atta case ni die. OSP no oshana se no wensa ade no. me sure so omu wa yi bia e hye omu mienu ntam nti na OSP ni sade no adan na omuma ebia for engine kenoprata ema Ghana amo me di emraso omo stati case we enye enne nti ye ka che president say ye na ye votu ma no sa OSP no o hwe ni ye so be yi na dia won yi di na on peni papoforo.
All right. Ernest, yeah, that's the software. Thank you. Ernest believes that the president must relieve the OSP of his duties. He does not trust the OSP to be working in the benefit or in favor of government and of Ghanaians. Well, let's see what happens. But again, this is what the OSP says that these 8 accused have done. They set up a criminal enterprise and they directly and indirectly influence the procurement process to obtain fair advantage for SML in the award of procurement contracts for transaction audit services, external price verification services, measurement audits of downstream petroleum products, upstream petroleum audit services, and minerals audit services purportedly by the government of Ghana, acting through the Ministry of Finance and the Ghana Revenue Authority. And so the 2 key offices involved in this matter, Ministry of Finance and Ghana Revenue Authority, is no surprise that you see officials from these 2 offices listed. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. I'm calling from Gulf City, Tema.
You're calling from?
Gulf City, Tema.
Okay, and what's your name, sir?
Edward.
Edward. Okay, Edward, thank you for calling. Please share your thoughts with us.
Okay, let me speak to you.
Okay.
Mr. OSP, the case, with Ufuyata and the others, you say, Nkonkusifi. Court. Say technical reason, but I'm not told because OSP you because since started say or the amount for court to be a bokubia na some about to we inconclusive.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Well,
thank you.
All right, yeah, that's it. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. He believes that this matter will not amount to anything substantial because he believes that it will go court and then technicalities will account for the reason for which court will exonerate Ken Ofori-Atta, and so this matter will really not amount to anything. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how this matter goes, how further it goes. But this is the matter of Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others for which OSP is after them. 78 counts of corruption and corruption-related activities. 78 counts. This matter involves the Ministry of Finance, Ghana Revenue Authority, and SML, Strategic Mobilization Limited. OSP believes that the Ministry of Finance and Ghana Revenue Authority colluded in skewing processes in favor of SML for the award of contracts. To this tune, we have lost some 1.4 billion Ghana cedis. We'll see how far this matter goes. But that's all for Ghana Speaks this morning. Thank you so much for calling. We're most grateful to you. We'll bring you the latest in the world of sports after this break. Stay with us.
Sports without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
On the show, we shall start by interrogating your athletes of matters with expert insight from our renowned medical professionals, providing you with actionable advice and cutting-edge knowledge to prevent injuries and optimize performance. Then we'll connect you to the talking point where we'll bring you the big names, the famous faces, and leading voices on our radar in the world of sports for a lively conversation and diverse perspective.
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the talking point. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
On Ghana Focus, we shall spotlight our domestic leagues and heroes of other sporting disciplines.
I'm James Makion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC with Victor and the team as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
The glam we see, the characters we love, they've got stories untapped, events untold, the sequence and details of the experiences unheard.
To my dad, I'm the stubborn one. To my mom, he's the stubborn one.
To the first management that I got, I think I was made to exercise a whole year.
Hey, I'm 20. All I know is how to have sex.
I was out of contract for 4 years.
The pain, the agony, the frustration, they made my depression worse.
Kimori, yes.
The hospital doesn't have a mortuary. We would have to take the baby in a box and then get rid of the body ourselves.
Sometimes I say something and they take it out of context and they bash my husband, they bash my family.
But hey, they survived and they're here to chronicle their journey with me, Miss G,
on ABC News GH. Magic pepper and onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yenini na da da da. So pa mediane no abe.
Come on, Gino, do your magic.
And papa no kunu abefi.
Tasty magic.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Rent back with the beer. Come on, come and see what. Where this guy? My friend, see before.
It's the Telestar Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telestar Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telestar Play app to opt in and start winning in the Telestar Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Amacho, sister Manako. When is campaign? Sister Manako. If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto etiaka. Inti ene, uno banu mumpe baby amubeda. Oh, no abeka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
You're welcome back. It's time for the latest in the world of sports, and Eugene Oforisoti joins me. Eugene, how are you? How was your evening?
Well, all good. These days we have to keep fit, so we are active in the evenings.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Very soon we'll open the ABC Keep Fit Club.
Really?
For workers around here. And we'll open it up to our neighbors around to also join us. So
it's voluntary, right?
Yeah, no, it's voluntary, and
okay,
we'll give you a special invite. It will be the VVIP to headline the event.
We'll see about that. What's the latest in the world of sports?
Well, there's a lot of the international break, so a lot of international games have taken place. Yesterday we told you about the Black Stars game against South Korea. That game ended with the Black Stars losing by 1-0 against Korea. Also, there were also a few countries have qualified to the World Cup. Austria has joined. Austria and Scotland have joined their European giants to qualify to automatically to the World Cup. So for Europe, the automatic slot for the World Cup has closed. Okay. The rest of the countries will have to do. So there you see it on the screen: Austria, Belgium, Croatia, England, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, Scotland, Spain, and then Switzerland. So here you don't see Italy, you don't see Poland, you don't see Turkey. These are traditional big teams in Europe who have failed to qualify to the World Cup directly. So they are going to go through a long haul, just like Nigeria went through.
All right.
But they have 4 slots to compete for. You see, Ghana, Africa, we had just 1 more slot to compete for, which is even in the Intercontinental next year. For Europe, they have 4 more slots to contest for. So later on, there will be a pot. There's the next slide of graphics where you see the pots. Yeah, exactly. So Italy is in pot 1, Denmark is in pot 1, Turkey is in pot 1, Ukraine is in pot 1. Pot 2 has
Ukraine failed to qualify.
Yeah, Ukraine failed to qualify directly.
Okay.
And you see pot 1 is the teams with the teams that have pedigree, the teams that have been at the World Cup.
Right.
So Denmark was at the last World Cup. Italy, one of the big teams who won the World Cup in 2006, have failed to make it to the World Cup since 2014. So this will be the 3rd World Cup they have missed automatically.
Why? What's happening?
That's a conversation we had on the replay. It's a thing where they are in transition, and they've changed coaches just like Nigeria did. They've changed coaches. Also, they've not had a consistent set of players.
Okay.
The players keep on getting injured, and so others have to replace them. And then there's a general lack of
enthusiasm.
Yes, and confidence among the players themselves, because they have one of the best players in the world, but things don't seem to just work out for them.
They're not gelling.
They are not gelling. That's a big problem for them. So we'll get that on the screen as well. So you see pot 1 with Italy, Denmark, Turkey there, and then pot 2 also. Pot 2 also has Poland. I think Poland was at the last World Cup. I remember they played a game against Argentina at the last World Cup. Wales was at the last World Cup. They failed to make it qualify automatically. Czech Republic, who Ghana faced in 2006, have also failed to make it automatically. Slovakia have also failed to make it automatically. Pot 3 has Republic of Ireland. They did very well, beat Portugal, beat Hungary, but they failed to qualify automatically. They'll have to go through the tough road. Albania, also Bosnia and Herzegovina, and then Kosovo. Pot 4 has Sweden. Sweden is a surprising one because they've got very good players in Europe. Alexander Isak, who moved to Liverpool, plays for that team. Victor Gyökeres, who is with Arsenal, plays for that team. Yeah, who does the mask celebration. Anthony Elanga, former Manchester United player, who is now with Nottingham Forest, plays for them. They've got good players, but things don't seem to be working well for them. They changed their coach very recently. They brought in a former Chelsea and former West Ham manager, Graham Potter, to lead the team. Things are still not going well for them. Romania and North Macedonia and Northern Ireland. So pot 1 faces pot 4, pot 2 faces pot 3 for 4 slots remaining. And the last World Cup, Italy faced North Macedonia and couldn't beat North Macedonia, and they failed to make it to the World Cup, even via the playoff option. So it's not even a game for Italy. Big teams here would see which teams manage to make it out.
I'm very interested in that, and I'll be looking forward to it.
Exactly. And then let's move to the Black Stars. They played yesterday in that very important game against South Korea. Unfortunately, we lost by a goal to nil. Ghana scored 2 goals, which were ruled for offside.
Offside.
Which were very Prince Edu Kwabna's goal, very minute details.
Well, you know what one of our colleagues, Romeo, said? At least he's glad that we even scored and it was ruled offside. Had we not scored at all, that would be...
It would have been a disaster. It would have it didn't have a board well for the thing, because they traveled long distances.
Very long distance.
Spent a lot of money only to not score a single goal. That's something to think about. Unfortunately, we couldn't win any of our 2 games. We failed to beat Japan. We lost 2-0. We failed to beat Korea 1-0. But it was a marked improvement in that game, particularly because we lost a lot of key players. But we saw improved performances from players like Caleb Birenchi. Benjamin Asari also made an important penalty save.
Yeah,
that was good for him as well. Jonas Ajiti scored a goal, which was later ruled for offside. So it speaks so about the performance of the team. And Otuado says, well, we're just not clinical enough, and that's how come we couldn't win the game.
On both sides, yeah. At the end, surely, first of all, congratulations for South Korea for the win. They were more clinical on their chances they had. I think we had good ball possession, but also a lot of chances we created which we couldn't use. And the difference was that they used their chances, even though they missed the penalty. I think the game was kind of even. I think it was good to watch. Very, very dangerous South Korea from set pieces, corners, and also crosses, in-swing crosses, which led also to the first goal. And we, like I said, also had our chances. Good pressing moments where we could have, when we won the goal, when we won the ball, we could have scored, but also good counter situations. And at the end, they were more clinical, and that's why I think South Korea won. First of all, I think they have. I think this leads them to be a little bit more stable. In general, I think.
Well, so that was Black Stars head coach Otuado there speaking on.
So we're going to World Cup with Otuado.
As it stands, we are going to Otuado. And the last time I checked, the Minister for Government Communication, the Honorable
Felix
Kwachofosu, was of the view that, who is almost the mouthpiece of the president, almost as if he says, yeah, we are sticking with Otuado. So it looks like that's the order from the old man watching over us, and so Otto will be the man for the job going to the World Cup. Whether we like it or not, Otto is the one we will take.
Maybe he'll pull a Scaloni. Scaloni was a player, and
coach. You know, I think if Ghana had progressed past the the group stage at the last World Cup, I don't think he would have been viewed as a failure. Things didn't go well, particularly because of how our group went. Remember, we failed to beat Portugal in our first game. We just lost by a slender margin, 3-2. Then we managed to beat Korea by the same margin of 3-2. At the time, it looked like Korea were almost out of the World Cup. In fact, we were out of the World Cup because it didn't look like they were going to beat Portugal. So the whole thing was for Ghana to just beat Uruguay, and we had ensured automatic qualification because we already had 3 points. Then the almighty unthinkable happens. Uruguay wins against Ghana, and then out of nowhere, that spurs Korea on, and they end up beating Portugal. Then that dumps Uruguay out of the World Cup. Ghana is out, and Korea from nowhere makes it to the knockout stages.
I remember the heartbreak I felt when we lost to Uruguay.
Exactly.
It was so sad. I mean, you just had to accept the fate.
You know, it wasn't only a game of football. Our ego was on the line.
Very much
the Uruguayans needed to pay for what they had done to us about 10, 11 years ago, and unfortunately things didn't go the way it was planned. So we hope that this time around Otto will learn his mistakes, and then we will progress past the group stage. Once he does that, whatever happens afterwards, he will be a hero. The draw for the World Cup will be on the 5th of December. Ghana is in pot 4, so we are among the least ranked sides. We will be in pots with countries like Curacao, Haiti, Suriname.
And Haiti has
Haiti has qualified to the World Cup. They are officially a country who never even played any of their World Cup qualifying games in their country. Remember that their country, which has been is in a lot of political turmoil and conflict. Gangs are controlling a part of the capital. The gangs have taken over their stadium, the national stadiums. So they've not played any game in their home country. They've not played any game in their home stadium. But away from home, they've been able to qualify to the World Cup, and that's huge for Haiti and Curacao. And Ghana is in a pot with them. So Ghana is likely to meet teams like USA, Canada, Mexico, Japan, and the big countries from pot 1. We'll meet those semi-countries like Korea and Co in pot 2. And very likely, so we are going to have a very tough test. Just like we had a tough test at the last World Cup, where Portugal was in pot 1, and I think South Korea, and then Uruguay. I think Uruguay was in pot 2, South Korea was in pot 3. Just like that, we are going to have that same struggle. Where will be the lowest ranked side in our group, and so least to be expected of us. But Ghana, we try and show up when we are least the expectation for us there. But also tonight there's a big one. There's the CAF Awards. Every year, CAF dedicates this time in December to award best players within the calendar year on a number of fronts. So there's the CAF Player of the Year, Male Player of the Year Award, the CAF Female Player of the Year Award, the CAF Young Player of the Year Award, the CAF National Team of the Year Award, and the CAF Interclub Player of the Year. So that one is for local players in the African scene here. So they'll look for the best players. The nominations were done. A number of Ghanaians were in there. Each nomination goes about 10 players. They've now been dropped to the final 3 for each award scheme, and so we'll have that on the screen as well. We'll go through the various there. So that's the Player of the Year Award finalists for the women. So there we have it. There we've got a Moroccan player. 2 Moroccan players. We've got Rashidat Ajibade. She was formerly with Atletico Madrid women's team. She's now with the Paris Saint-Germain women's team. Now that Nigeria won the women's AFCON just this year, and so she's in pole position because of how Nigeria performed at the AFCON. Morocco were second, and so Morocco also will have their players feature very prominently for the. So that's for the Player of the Year.
So had we advanced to the finals, maybe we'd have seen Portia watching there.
Exactly, and even at the point there was some nominations for for female Player of the Year, and I think Goalkeeper of the Year, but unfortunately when it was down, we weren't there. So let's head to the next nomination set of awards. So yeah, we've got the Young Player of the Year. We've got Tylon Smith from South Africa, and also 2 Moroccan players as well. So the Moroccan under-20 team won the AFCON. The under-20 World Cup. Yeah. So they've also joined Ghana as only 2 African countries that won the under-20 World Cup. So 2 of the players have made it to the list there for the Young Player of the Year finalists for the men award. Let's head to the next one. Well, so that's it for the Young Player of the Year. Then Club of the Year. That's where we've got Pyramids, Esperance de Tunis, and then Mamelodi Sundowns. So it's Pyramids of Egypt, RS Berkane of Morocco, and then Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa. So almost all the awards, you see Moroccan teams in there. It tells of how important they've been. For the Goalkeeper of the Year awards, we've got the Nigerian goalkeeper Chimamanda Ngozi, who she's now moved to Brighton and Hove Albion in the English league for the women. She's now the goalkeeper for the. And we have the Moroccan goalkeeper as well as South Africa's goalkeeper at the just ended women's AFCON there. So for the Goalkeeper of the Year, the National Team of the Year award, that's where for the men we've got Cape Verde. Okay. They also are one of the smallest nations in the world that have qualified to the World Cup, and because of the expansion from 5 to 9, Cape Verde is one of those beneficiaries from Africa.
That's nice.
They've been nominated for National Team of the Year because they've qualified to the World Cup. Funny enough, they didn't qualify for the AFCON, but they've qualified for the World Cup, just like Ghana. Just like Ghana. Then Morocco, they have qualified for the World Cup, one of the most consistent teams in terms of African football, also are in there. Then Morocco's under-20 team, remember I told you, they also qualified for the 2020, won the under-20 World Cup as well. So it means that Morocco's under-20 team are also here. So Morocco's teams are featuring prominently in in the main awards there. So those are the nominations there. So big one for there. So for the main one, CAF Player of the Year, we've got Mohamed Salah in there. He helped Liverpool to win the Premier League. He also helped Egypt to qualify to the 2026 World Cup. Egypt missed the 22 World Cup at the hands of Cameroon, and then now they missed at the hands of Senegal. And now they were in 2018, they missed 22. They are back here at the 26th World Cup. So Salah has been nominated. Very important figure for Liverpool and Egypt. Also, Victor Osimhen won the Turkish Cup and the Turkish League with Galatasaray. Key figure for Nigeria and Galatasaray. Also, he has made it here. One of the top scorers in Europe last season. And then the final one is Achraf Hakimi with Paris Saint-Germain and then the Moroccan national team as well. Very important figure for PSG. He scored in the Champions League final when they beat Borussia Dortmund by 5-0. So a very important player for the Moroccan national team. And so these are the nominations. National Team of the Year, Ghana's female team has also been nominated because we won bronze. So it's Ghana, Nigeria, and Morocco. So that's it. So that's the nominations for Ghana for. We fall in the Women's National Team of the Year final. So you can see the top 3 teams have been nominated. Well, so as for us, with ABC Sports, we always try to get you good interviews with people that matter. So we decided to speak to one of the coaches who was nominated once before, Tom Seifert. He's the head coach of the Mali national team. At a point, he should have been Ghana's head coach by now. He was interviewed for 4 hours by the GFA.
And what happened?
And guess what? After 4 hours, he thought he was in pole position to get the job, and the job was given to a lesser person in Otuado, who was in terms of experience, a lesser experienced person.
Okay.
And Otuado didn't have a lot of national team experience. Tom Seifert has been around Africa, coach Togo, coach Namibia, coach Gambia, and a whole lot of other countries, and he didn't get the job. And so Tom Seifert is very much interested in African football. We asked him his thoughts on, first of all, the CAF Player of the Year award. Mohamed Salah, Achraf Hakimi, and Victor Osimhen. Who does he think wins the CAF Player of the Year? And here's what he had to say.
Football players all performing on club and national team level on a high level. Girassi, who score frequently very important goals. Anguissa, who became champion with Napoli. Osimhen, who is very important with his goals in Turkey. So many players. Salah already so many years performing on top level in England. But for me, and also because it's a defender, I would give this year the trophy, and I said it earlier, to Achraf Hakimi. Winning the Champions League for the first time in history with Paris Saint-Germain, a team who invested the last 10 years in so many big names. We saw Messi, we saw Mbappe, we saw Ronaldo. They couldn't, Neymar, sorry, they couldn't win that title. And now in this generation, maybe less names, but a good team. They play brilliant football, get great results. Hakimi is crucial for Paris Saint-Germain and for Morocco. And it's sometimes too easy to give these awards to...
Well, so that was Tom Seifert, the head coach of the Malian national team. Later on in the year, when we are building up to the AFCON, we'll give you the full exclusive interview he had, about 30 minutes of his time.
That's nice. Would love to hear that.
Yeah, he had a lot to say about the AFCON and his team Mali and all of other things. But for this particular part of the interview, he believes that Achraf Hakimi, a lot of the time, for award scheme, we give prominence to attackers. So that's why you have Salah and then Victor Osimhen in there. But he believes for a defender to be in this conversation, a defender who scores a lot of goals, and he's very much seen in a PSG team that has a lot of stars. He thinks that Achraf Hakimi deserves the award. Then we also spoke about the CAF Coach of the Year award. Kivet's coach, Coach Bobista, for the fact that he has qualified Kivet to the award, he has also been nominated, and a few other coaches. Walid Regragui is the coach of the Moroccan national team. Then also Morocco's under-20 coach who took them to the World Cup and won it has also been nominated. So 3 of these coaches all have done magnificent work within the calendar year. They've been nominated. So Tom Seifert, he was also nominated himself a few years ago, so he knows the criteria. And we asked him who he thinks is a possible candidate for the Coach of the Year, the possible winner. He also shared his thoughts.
Normal qualifiers, and we didn't make it for the World Cup. So if we would have qualified for the World Cup, if that miracle would have come through after a bad start with the previous coach, it would have been amazing. In 2022 and 2023, I had the honor to be in the top 5 of the best coaches. It's always a pleasure, and I hope in the future to be again there. Now, for me, there are two names I would look at. Naturally, all these coaches did a great performance. Qualifying for a World Cup is always something special. Winning a Champions League with Pyramids or doing fantastic with Madagascar in Chan tournament, it's great. But for me, two coaches are deserving for me the most. I think about Wabi, who became world champion with the under 20. It was Celis, the coach of Ghana in 2009, who did it the last time. Now again, an African Belgian coach, because he's born in Belgium and developed and coached always in Belgium, who did a great job. On the other side, the performance of Cape Verde and the performance of Bobista. I know him quite well personally also, and he's a gentleman. He's very humble, and he's a fantastic coach. He's working for many years in Cape Verde. It's not his first a great achievement. Also in the past, he guided them to good results in AFCON.
So that was Tom Seifert, the head coach of the Mali national team. Mali will be at the AFCON. They are in the group with host nation Morocco, Zambia, and then Comoros.
Okay.
We'll get a lot of interviews with this head coach.
We'll look forward to that. I would love that. And thank you. This evening, the Sports World.
Yeah, so for Sports World, we'll be covering the CAF Awards as well. We'll be getting interviews with people that matter, sports analysts on the awards and the nominees and other things. So stay tuned at Sports World at 7 p.m. on ABC News, where we'll get you a lot of comments. We'll talk about the FIFA World Cup, the qualifiers and the things that are happening, the surprises and other things. And then most importantly, also look at the CAF Awards as well.
All right, Soti, thank you. And that's Eugene Ofori Soti bringing us the latest in the world of sports. And that's how we wrap up today's show, ABC in the Morning. Thank you to Carl Nyanyete Sowa, the head of communications at the Small Arms Commission, and Dennis Kwakwa, former Ashanti Regional Communications Director for the NPP, for speaking with us today. And a big thank you to you for calling and watching us. This may be seen in the morning without you. And as always, I am very grateful to you. Thank you to the technical and production team for putting together today's show. The midday news comes your way at 12 p.m. You don't want to miss out on that at all, with Peggy Nyakwam Bano. And again, Sports World at 7 p.m. where everything sports will come your way. You don't want to miss out on that too. I wish you the very best of your Wednesday. I am ABENA Mante. Enjoy.